So as I'm driving to Raleigh from Pilot Mountain for a very exciting meeting, these words came over my heart and I thought I would share them. My training as a man of God, whatever you want to call me, someone who is a defender of the faith, a person who is a preacher of righteousness, a prophet, if you want to even use that terminology. Well, these are all just words. But what God has done in my life is He has put me in so many hard situations as a father, husband, provider, professional sales guy, contractor, all these different scenarios, traveler, and then being the father of many children, being put into a vice, being put into a straight and narrow path, sometimes being put into a cave. I've had to learn what it means to trust God in a lot of different circumstances. Every one of those circumstances was a risk. Every one of those efforts was a volitional, determined effort to bring change. So what am I? If I summarize my calling in life, is I'm a change maker. I'm about positive change. Whether I'm working for a company and I see things that they need to do to increase their revenue, I want to be a part of that work. I want to help establish that increase. If I'm looking at someone that plays a sport and I happen to be pretty decent at that sport and I'm very good at identifying the flaws in their game, I want to see him become a better player. I play golf. It's one of those things you never learn to any level of perfection. You're always being taught how the game is harder than you can even imagine. It's mental mostly. Just like baseball, it's mental mostly. There's not a lot of physicality in it. It's a lot of positive thought life being developed and nurtured. But I was going to explain where we're at with God. This is what I want to title this. You either live on the miracle side of God. That's where I live. I live on the miracle side of God. It's scary. It's difficult. But where we're at as a world and as a nation and as a community of the people of God is that you either going to live on the miracle side of God and be content there, waiting on God, trusting God. What does that mean? To lean on God. It's like a staff that Moses had, or an older man has a cane. When he gets up to move around, he needs the cane. I'm one of those guys. I can't move around without my staff or without my cane. I need to lean on God. He is my support. He is my foundation. And He is my sure, strong, reliable refuge. That's what it means, in my opinion, and my belief system, to trust the miracle side of God. Now, look at who's coming over our way. People who are spiritual. They may not know much about Scripture. All they know is there's this idea of conscience or consciousness. And I've been trying to figure out where all this is going. Is this going to be a great deception where people learn that they're God by virtue of their becoming one with God through some kind of meditational process or some kind of suffering process, kind of like a Buddhist or a deep Muslim thinker? Or is this Christ taking over every spiritual idea where Jesus is becoming King of heaven, King of earth? We don't know. But I know this, I'm going to hold on to the confession of my faith that Jesus Christ is Lord of heaven and earth. He owns both the invisible realm and the physical realm. He owns governments in the second heaven where Satan runs the governments of this world that are doing horrible things, trying to put humanity in bondage. Jesus is operating in that realm, because he has the third realm, he has the first realm, and he has all the spaces in between. So take heart, dear fellow human being. Take heart and know that there is a miracle coming. And there are those who believe it from many sectors, many journeys. People have been on many different processes of learning about what makes life work. You have to be positive. You have to be an initiator. You have to be a believer. You have to speak words of faith. You have to look into the future. You cannot look back. You have to stare into the future, and you have to believe for better things. No one who has ever done anything good or great has been a person who dwells on the past. Learn from the past, but put out in front of you a high goal, because that's a God goal. God doesn't deal in small goals. He only deals in lofty, impossible end results. So put it out there. Believe for bigger things. That's my word of encouragement for you today on January 26, 2021.